And come to stand in the top third of your mat in a way where you feel really solid and rooted to the floor. As you breathe in, draw your hands together in front of your heart. And as you breathe out of your nose, interlace your fingers and press your hands down. Look down. Slow breath in. Slowly raise your arms up above your head. Look up. And as you exhale, turn your palms around so they touch. And draw your hands down through heart center. Interlace and press them down towards the mat. Do that a few more times. Inhale, press your feet into the mat. Rise up. And exhale, draw your hands down. Interlace your fingers and press them down. Flow with your breath. Inhale. And exhale. Once more. Inhale, raise your arms. This time as you exhale, bring your arms wide, bend your knees, fold forwards. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Lift your knuckles up into the air as you drop your head. Bend your knees, bring your arms down, release your hands, sweep them forward and up overhead. Keep your feet strongly rooted to the floor, lift up and arch back. And come up to center and fold all the way forwards. Interlace your fingers behind your back again, reach up, roll your shoulders back, drop your head. And then bend your knees, release your arms, inhale slowly, rise all the way up. And exhale to fold. Interlace your fingers, reach up. And release your hands, bend your knees, rise up, back bend. And fold. Interlace your fingers one last time. And then release your hands, bend your knees, float your arms forward and up parallel with the floor. Roll your shoulders back and rise up onto your tiptoes. And you breathe in. As you breathe out, bring your heels down, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, step back to plank. Breathe in. As you breathe out, slowly lower all the way down to the mat. Hug your elbows in. Hands alongside your body, root your feet into the mat, lift, low cobra. And then exhale, come down. Bring your hands a little bit off the mat. You're right up on your fingertips. Hands are forwards of your shoulders, elbows stick up into the air. Ground your feet into the floor and inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, roll your right shoulder and your right ear down to the mat. Inhale to center. And exhale, switch sides. So use the strength of your legs, your core and your back to peel your chest up. And then roll. Right shoulder, right ear down. Inhale to center. And exhale, left ear, left shoulder. One more time each side. And then inhale to center. Exhale, come down. And slide your hands underneath your armpits, tuck your toes under, lift up to plank. And press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come up onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, look between your hands, hop or step to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down and in. Bend your knees, sweep your arms out to either side, rise all the way up, upper back bend. And then exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, bend your knees, sit your hips down, raise your arms up this time alongside your ears. Sit your hips a little bit lower. Bring your low belly and pelvic tilt forwards. Slide your weight back into your heels. And breathe in. As you breathe out, hands down through heart center, cross your left elbow over your right thigh. Inhale to lengthen and exhale, turn your heart to your thumbs. Inhale, back to center. Lift your torso, raise your arms, sit your hips. Breathe in, breathe out. Hands through heart center, right elbow over your left thigh. Aim to keep your knees in line as you inhale and lengthen, and exhale and sit down and twist. Inhale, keep your hips low. Lift your torso, lift your arms, and then exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, step your right foot back, right knee down onto the mat. And inhale, raise your arms. Exhale to lunge. Inhale to straighten your front leg, flex your toes, and exhale to fold forwards. One full breath. Inhale, bend into your front knee as you raise your arms. And exhale, hands to the mat into plank pose. Take a breath in plank. And as you breathe out, lower halfway, chaturanga. Upward dog. And down dog. Aim to keep your hips square. Raise your right leg into the air. Step it forward between your hands. Bring your left knee down. Inhale, raise your arms. And exhale, lunge. Inhale, straighten your front leg, flex your toes. And exhale to bow. One full breath. Inhale, bend into your front knee, raise your arms. And exhale, hands to the mat. Step onto your front leg, lift your left leg up into the air. Bow your head down, point your toes, and then bend your lifted leg knee. You can slide your right hand underneath your right heel, and then pull up as you drop your head. And release your hand from underneath your foot, square off your hips, step your feet together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold down. Look to your belly button. Bend your knees, sweep your arms out to either side, rise all the way up, arc back, and then fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, the left leg back. Left knee down to the mat. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, lunge. Breathe in, press your front leg straight, flex your toes, and breathe out to fold forwards. Bend into your front knee, raise your arms on an inhale. And as you exhale, come to plank. Breathe in. Breathe out, lower chaturanga, halfway. Upward facing dog, lift your knees, pull your heart forward. And downward facing dog. Aim to keep your hips square. Inhale, raise your left leg. And exhale, step it forwards. Right knee down this time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to soften. Inhale to straighten your leg, flex your toes, and exhale to bow. Inhale, bend your front knee, raise your arms. Exhale, hands to the mat, and step onto your left leg. Raise your right leg. Drop your head. And slide your left hand underneath your left heel, pull up as you reach your right knee up into the air. And release your hand from underneath your heel. Step your right foot next to your left foot. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Bend your knees, sweep your arms out to either side, rise all the way up, back bend. Come to center and draw your hands down in front of your heart. Stand on your left foot, raise your right knee. Come into tree pose, sole of your foot above or below your knee. Inhale, raise your arms. Interlace your fingers, release your index fingers, and then side bend to the left. Inhale to center, and exhale your hands in front of your heart as you turn your knee forward and step your feet together. And stand on your right foot, raise your left leg. Turn your knee out to the side, plant your foot, square your hips. Raise your arms, interlace your fingers the opposite way, breathe in. And as you breathe out, side bend right. And inhale to center. Exhale, knee turns forward, draw your hands together. Step your feet together. Breathe in, raise your arms. And as you breathe out, wrap your right arm underneath your left arm for eagle. You could reach for your shoulders or twist ties. Sit your hips down and back. Cross your right leg over your left leg. Hug your legs together. Sit down as you lift your elbows up. You breathe in, and as you breathe out, pull your belly button back to your spine as you hollow out your belly and reach your elbows forward to the outside of your knees. Inhale, come up. And exhale, hollow out your belly and pull in. Inhale to come up. And exhale to arch and go forwards. This time as you inhale, unbind your arms, unbind your legs, lift your right leg high. And exhale, extend back into high lunge. Reach your right leg way back, right heel is lifted. Inhale, raise your arms, and exhale, sit your hips a little bit lower. Breathe in, straighten your front leg, and as you breathe out, open to warrior two. Find a deep bend in your front knee. Your inhale, drop your back arm down your back leg, arc over. And breathe in, come up to center. And then breathe out, reach forward, lay your front forearm on your thigh, right arm alongside your right ear for extended side angle, drop your hips down. All in one inhale. Come up and back, peaceful warrior. This time as you exhale, wimble your hands to the mat, frame your front foot, step back into plank. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lower halfway. Lift into upward facing dog. And down dog. Come up onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, hop to the top. Halfway lift. Fold down and in. Rise all the way up. Back bend. Come to center. And arms down by your sides. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, wrap your left arm underneath your right arm. Sit your hips down and back, cross your left leg over your right leg, eagle pose. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, pull in your belly and reach forward as if you're trying to touch your elbows beyond your knees. And inhale, come up slowly. And exhale, hollow your belly and fold. One more time. And this time as you come up, unbind your arms, unbind your legs, lift high, and then step back into a high lunge. And raise your arms, breathe in, and breathe out, bend into your front knee a little bit more. And inhale, straighten your front leg, exhale to warrior two. Inhale to peaceful warrior, and exhale when you're there. Come back up, warrior two, breathe in. Breathe out, reach forward, elbow to thigh, arm alongside your ears, sit your hips low. Inhale, up and back. And exhale, frame your front foot, step back into plank. Lower halfway down. Lift up, press the tops of your feet into the mat, roll your shoulders back. And come into down dog. Come up onto your tiptoes, bend your knees, hop to the top. Halfway lift. And fold down, slide your hands underneath the fronts of your feet, toes to your wrist creases as you bow your head. And release your hands from underneath the fronts of your feet and slide them underneath your heels. Wrap your forearms around your calves. Pull up on your heels. Reach your heart forward. Drop your head. And release your hands from underneath your feet. Bend your knees. Sweep your arms out to either side. Rise all the way up. Back bend. Come to center. Drop your right hand down. Pick up the inside part of your right foot and start to press your foot back into your hand as you kick and lift into dancer's pose. Slowly come up and let go of your foot. Your right arm up and your left arm down as you switch feet. Hold onto your left foot. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale to kick back. Come on up. Both arms down. Take a couple of breaths, standing tall in Tadasana, mountain pose. And connect with your breath. Breathe in and out of your nose. Breathe in, raise your arms. As you breathe out, fold forwards. And walk your hands forwards to come into downward facing dog. Step your feet back. And breathe in, raise your right leg into the air. Bend your knee. Lift your right hip up as you slide your torso towards your left leg. And square your hips, slide your right knee forward to the outside of your right wrist for pigeon pose. And walk your left knee back. And have your back toes tucked under to start with. Your hands might be on the mat in front, maybe on your feet, or maybe draw your hands together in front of your heart. If you have your hands lifted, bring them down and walk your hands forward. Bring your right arm a little bit more forward and slide your left arm underneath to come into a twist. Lay your left shoulder and your left ear down onto the floor. And press into the mat with your right hand so you can come on up and twist. And your right hand to the right, roll to your right hip and swing your left leg all the way up and over. So you come to seated on both sitting bones, sitting up tall. Your left hand behind you, inhale, reach your right arm up, your elbow or your hand over your thigh as you twist. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale as you're there. Lean to the right so you can swing your left leg back, coming briefly into pigeon and into downward facing dog. And you inhale, raise your left leg, bend your left knee, stack your hip, press your torso back towards your right thigh. And square your hips, slide your knee forwards, and extend your right leg back. And keep your toes tucked under. Both legs are active here. And you press your hands into the floor. Your hands might come onto your leg or your foot. Maybe your hands come together in front of your heart. If you have your hands lifted, bring them down. Walk your hands forward, your left arm a little bit forwards of your right, so you can slide your right arm underneath and roll your right shoulder and ear down to the mat. You can untuck your toes. And press your left hand into the mat. Come on up. And left hand to the left. And roll to your left hip. And your right leg all the way up and over. Make sure you're grounded, both sitting bones down on the mat. Your right hand behind you, reach up. And as you exhale, twist. And your breathing, come back to center. And as you breathe out this time, extend your legs out in front. Sit up tall. Inhale, raise your arms. And exhale to fold. And use your hands to press yourself up. And come to lie down on your back for Shavasana. And set yourself up in the most comfortable position that you can find. Allow yourself to rest and be still after the movement. And take a deep breath in through your nose and let all the air go out of your mouth. Do this a couple more times as you move your hands and your feet. And roll over onto one side. And come up to your comfortable seat. And draw your hands together, either on top of or in front of your heart. Take a moment of gratitude for making the time to practice, for your commitment to yourself. Gratitude for the practice of yoga, and may practice serve you well.